Hello, this is the Selina Ray Show on webseriesnetwork.com. Basically that it's the love that gets the baby in that gets the baby out.
Okay.
And giving birth is just as intimate as when you're making the baby,
Right.
when you're making love. So just having mine and my husband's energies
Right.
when we make the baby, and just having our energies and the baby, there's no distractions. And so with the midwives, yeah, even though I was at home and I had, the lights low and candlelight and music and things like that, it's still somebody else's energy in the room.
I see what you're saying.
And
right.
it does affect things.
Well,
It did for me, because
Yeah.
my other births average, and I'm not complaining,
Right.
but they average 7 hours.
Okay, 7 hours.
And 7
All right.
hours of hard labor
Right. Okay.
to a half an
Yeah,
hour.
that seems like what a contrast, really, from the gentle, peaceful, intimate birth. With your 5th unassisted birth, that was.
And just so much unnecessary pain, because, for that half an hour and for those 7 hours,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was.
So there's pain. Because honestly, because I think that we want to make sure that people understand that, yes, you're giving birth, and there is pain. It just doesn't last 7 hours, right? Necessarily, It doesn't have to.
Right.
It could actually.
But there was. I have read a story in spiritual midwifery, a great book of a young girl actually who was like 18 or something, and she just showed up at the farm in Tennessee, like a week before she was giving birth. So basically, was unassisted,
Right.
And they said she didn't experience any pain, but yeah, for the most part, I trained for pain.
Right.
Because and I worked for a childbirth educator for 2 years. I apprenticed, and she does this thing where she says her mantra is, "The wave always comes to shore." And she would do things in her childbirth education class, like pinch your leg,
Right.
really hard, and have you, breathe through it and find your center around that, to overcome it, because you kind of want to see yourself in the ocean, and you want to stay above the water. You don't want to get and so there's things that you can do. There's things like breathing. There's things like, if you have to get vocal, if you have to make noises, make sure you keep it low, like instead of
Right. Ground it with it really in your
yeah,
lower than your belly.
yeah,
right.
in like Mama Bear,
the root. Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
that'll keep the energy here instead of high pitched, and so, because that dissipates the energy.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's things like that, but I have found personally, I do that a little bit in the beginning. I might kind of like grunt a bit, but I find the best is to keep it in.
All right.
Just hold it in and breathe and keep it inside, and then it goes.
So, your beautiful daughter was born. Yeah, your 5th beautiful daughter. I met her. She's beautiful, very angelic, and how, because you had a 17-month gestational, like, how big?
I'm so amazed that I have to read about that now, because I didn't know that.
Since you had, how big was she? Like, because I have big babies.
I do too.
So
I have big babies.
So I'm curious, because 17.
She was 8 pounds 7 ounces.
Wow. So she wasn't 12 pounds. She
No.
was 8 pounds 7 ounces.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
my fourth child was 8 pounds 4 ounces. My
Okay.
first was 7'11",
Okay.
so
Yeah. So 8'7" is doable. I mean, you know, after 17 months, because that, to me, it's like, oh, wow, you know, man, just to experience that, you know, and not be in a hurry and have all that patience, and then give birth to this, you know, angelic presence and this beautiful being.
and for me,
Yeah.
it's the best feeling I have ever known.
Okay. Wow.
And you don't usually hear that when it comes to women in childbirth. My firstborn, Indira, and she was a little girl, you know, she wanted to have babies, and then one day she didn't want any, and I said, what, you know,
Yeah.
why? And because, you know, she had seen movies
Right.
or whatever, because it hurts. And now after seeing my Venus birth, she wants to have kids again. She wants to.
She wants to. You know what's so funny about this whole process, and for me, is to see when I first had my daughter many years ago. She was, it was really hard. It was very, very difficult. The birth was, and understanding, you know, my body would have really been of great benefit to me, and this contrast that's happening now. Here we are moving into another, you know, this opportunity for women to, you know, have babies really in an ancient way again. You know, that's all, it feels like it's all coming back to women wanting to understand who they are and their bodies, and kind of getting back to that earthiness of who we are. And so when you talk about your book, I want to ask you, is the book available now? And I know it's called, what's it called again?
You're having a Venus
You're
birth.
having a Venus birth. Okay. And you call it, I'm going to ask again, why is it called a Venus birth? I mean, why do you have, how did that, you know, that came to you? We talked about that, but how does it associate, you know, with, is it the Venus, the goddess Venus, or is it the, you know, planet, or how does it work, you know? Could you tell me about it, and then tell me when your book's available and, you know, what you've got going on there. I want to know a little bit about that.
Okay, I think it's both. You know, I think the planet Venus is representing the goddess Venus, but yeah, one of the things they said was this is how they birth on Venus.
Okay.
And you're having a Venus birth, and like I said, just a lot of talking, and
Right.
I'm working at remembering and grasping that, but yeah, that's all I could get, and so I really feel like it's, you know, it's just the feminine, because, you know, I thought, well, why not the moon? Because I thought the moon ruled childbirth and conception, and, you know, which it does, but I really think it's Venus because of the pleasure aspect.
Okay.
Venus is, you know, the planet for pleasure, and yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's the best feeling I've ever known, and the orgasmic part.
Right. That fascinates me. To me, it's like, you know, of course, it makes sense though when you go about it. This pregnancy, the whole pregnancy, and then into the birth of this whole kind of relaxed, you know, sensual place, and it's really owning who you are as a female, as a woman. I think, you know,
yeah,
really just saying, you know,
utilizing what
right,
God and
exactly.
Goddess gave us.
Really, exactly. So I find that just, you know, I know that there are books out there, there are websites out there, and I'll have them on my blog. So if you want those resources, they will be available to all of you, and you can just check my blog. after the show airs, we'll go ahead and have all that information for you. And also some information about your book. You're having a Venus birth. So
yeah.
Tell me about
what
process.
It's a book and a birth film.
Okay.
So it'll have the actual birth, and then some footage of us afterwards.
Okay.
Just
okay,
getting comfy.
So the book is it's been written. Are you looking for a publisher right now? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all it's in journal form.
Okay.
So I was just keeping a journal, just like I do, and keeping track of my readings and just everything that was happening, and the fact that it's 17 months. So yeah, a publisher, or I might self-publish.
Okay,
so.
Great. Just so the information's available, because at this point now, where we are in the world, and how things are moving so quickly, this information is really, I find it very fascinating and important and very powerful. That women are having unassisted births on an increasing number.
Right, and I have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Venus Birth Love page. So even if my book isn't available, I'm available, and will work with women and give them all that I have and know. Yeah,
and I'll make sure that on my blog as well, we'll make sure that page is listed so that you can check her out.
Cool.
And yeah, you're welcome. You know what? I got onto your love page, and I'm going to have you read something, because I got it from your page. Excuse me for a minute. That I want you to read this. I could read it, but you put it on your page, so I want you to read it.
Okay.
And it's this thing, and it really had me think about what we were talking about today.
Oh, yes. In this world, each person is his own doctor, his own priest. The physical body is a temple of the spirit of the Creator. It is honored that way and used as a vehicle of illumination and truth. That's from Susan Karnacki.
Okay. And I just really, the line that I really just felt really powerful. And even, and for the birthing process and unassisted births, but also as who we are as human beings, and women and men, male and female, all of us. I love the part that it is honored that way, that we are a temple, right? That we are a temple of the Spirit, and that is honored that way and used as a vehicle of illumination and truth. There's so much that we just don't necessarily remember about who we are. And, this is, it's a journey for me to explore, and remember who I am and who we all are. It's been a wonderful pleasure to have you here. Just absolutely, absolutely adore you, and I'm just fascinated by this whole subject. I'm going to have you do something, that I haven't done before with people, with guests, or would you kind of close us out, with a blessing? Would you do that for me? Yeah. Just a little blessing, kind of to pull this all in and kind of end the show. And I'm going to say thank you now, and thank you all for watching today. And you can catch me on webseriesnetwork.com, and I'll have links to pages that I found regarding this particular topic. Lorinda's information on her Facebook information or Facebook pages. So you can, if you have any questions, additionally, I know that she would be more than happy to answer those questions for you. So thank you all, and I'm going to close with Lorinda.
Yeah, I think in honor of Venus and the Divine Feminine, the return of the Divine Feminine, I think for a blessing, what comes to mind is the charge of the goddess.
Okay, all right.
And I, who am the beauty of the green earth and the white moon among the stars and the mysteries of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come unto me. For mine is the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be in the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And you who seek to know me, know that your seeking and yearning will avail you not unless you know the mystery. For if that which you seek you do not find within, you will never find without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire. And desire meaning having the intent,
Right.
having the want, seeking it. Seek and you shall find.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.